showed up in the Ottawa Citizen back in April by Tom Spears. And he was a reporter that was trying to do a story about this snow research. And there were two sources. One was from the National Research Council and the other was from NASA. And so he gave both agencies a call. He got an answer within 15 minutes with an interview with the scientist and his questions answered from NASA within 15 minutes. The NRC took weeks to get a response. And at some point they actually asked him, well, can you send a list of questions? And in the end, he ended up getting details of some of the equipment that was used in the study, as opposed to actual
details of the study.
Details of, well, why study snow, which was one of the questions he wanted to ask. Why is this of interest? And so we thought, okay, well, let me check out to see what's going on here. So we got an access to information thing, and said, I want a copy of all the correspondence that happened in your department dealing with my question. And what he found was that 11 people were involved in corresponding and trying to figure out how to respond to this reporter's question. There were a number of scientists at different levels. There were different people, bureaucrats within the department, and just sort of went all over the place. And it was pretty clear from the correspondence that was going on that none of them really knew how to deal with a reporter.
I've spoken with a number, for in advance of this, of public information officers from the government. It's actually interesting hearing how upsetting they find this. So this used to be actually a good, fun job.
So these are the communications people within government.
Yeah, and you used to be able to go around because you were the ones who were, finding stuff that would go into releases, and so you'd go and you'd interview scientists and you'd find all kinds of interesting stuff, and you'd put together a release, so highlighting, and you'd see how you could pitch it to journalists. One of the realities is that in some kind of way, I think that you're almost rewarded for no news getting out as opposed for the news getting out. Because as I was talking to people, they were saying things like, if anything goes wrong, our head's on the line. If the politicians don't like, what happens, so that there is a real pressure on you to not make a mistake in what they release. It's not your mistake, but it's simply how it's interpreted. And what that does is it creates a kind of a workplace of repression. One of the people I talked to said, it's not fun anymore.
Does any of this sound familiar in terms of working in the academic milieu in any university?
Well,
you're working with public relations people.
Yeah,
are they trying to shape you?
It seems they have. No, they're not trying to shape me in any way. But it seems the roles of the public relations people in government and in universities are now completely different, because the university public relations people is trying to. The university wants newspapers citing people at the university, right, to show our relevance to society. So their goal is to sort of increase the profile of the university scientists and try to get media attention. And it sounds like the goal of the media people in government is now just the opposite. Big things are happening, right? They're happening right before us. And we're, as a society, in the most unbelievable state of denial. The science is getting stronger. What's happening in nature is getting more evident, and we're moving in a deeper state of denial. And so this is what happens when you don't have open communication of science. Is we are, we're sleepwalking. We have our heads in the sand, and meanwhile we're facing serious risks.